Well, let's go live to the scene of a large fire in Ruskin. It's breaking news we've been tracking since 5 o'clock tonight. This is all happening at a U-Haul property. A massive fire there. Let's check in live at 6 with Lori Davison, giving us our first look at what's happening there on the ground. Hi, Lori.
Hi, Veronica. That's right. The fire department right now is saying that this fire is under control, but it is not out yet. You can see here behind me, there is still quite a lot of activity going on. Right now, it is what is being called a defensive attack, meaning that they are fighting this from outside the building. Now, all of this started right before 5 o'clock at Wild Bill's Furniture Store here on 41 in Ruskin. That building, that facility, the furniture store, is a total loss, and the big concern out here all afternoon and evening here has been the U-Haul rental facility that sits right next door. Obviously, lots of fuel there in those trucks at that facility, and they were very concerned that the fire from the furniture store would jump and would spread over to the U-Haul facility, and then they could have an explosion. So that was just very, very critical that they get out here and get this put out very quickly to prevent that from happening, which they have managed to do. Now, from my vantage point here, I do see quite a bit of damage. They basically say that the furniture store is a total loss, and it actually looks to me like some of the U-Hauls might be burned too there. That looks like what they're putting water on right now. Also, there are a lot of power lines here that they have been dealing with, and Highway 41 here is a very busy road. So when you have a big fire going on and a possible, explosion, concerns about an explosion, they did go ahead and shut the road down while they have been dealing with all this and fighting this fire. Now, they did have to take one person to the hospital. I understand that that person was at the furniture store, is what we're being told. One person transported to the hospital in non-critical condition. As far as we know, no other injuries out here this evening. Right now, investigators are working to talk to witnesses and people trying to figure out exactly what caused this. They're trying to get some of the roads here back open. That's this traffic that you see moving here. But right now, this section of 41 in front of this is still closed and probably will be for the next hour or so. Reporting live in Hillsborough County, Lori Davison, Spectrum, Bay News 9.
A stretch of U.S. Highway 41 in Hillsborough County still closed this 10 o'clock hour. And a Ruskin furniture store now a total loss after being destroyed in a massive fire. Tonight, investigators are trying to figure out what caused it. Spectrum Bay News 9's Lori Davison is joining us live from that scene along Highway 41. And Lori, crews are still out there.
Oh, yeah, Veronica, still a very active scene out here. As you can see behind me, lots of fire trucks out here, flashing lights. They do have the water trucks up, a couple of them actually, checking for hot spots and ready to put those out if any of those do flare up. Smoke from this fire could be seen for miles earlier tonight, and firefighters say that it was challenging for a lot of different reasons. Blazing hot. That's how witnesses describe a fire that broke out at Wild Bill's appliance and furniture store shortly before rush hour.
And when I passed by, somebody inside the library said, "Oh my God," and we all looked over here. The fire was blazing very hot. You can feel the heat from over here.
By the time firefighters arrived, flames were through the roof. The two-alarm fire had crews concerned because the furniture store sits right next to a U-Haul rental facility loaded with trucks.
And we didn't want the flames to start catching those trucks on fire with all the gas and other combustibles.
They managed to keep it from spreading, but some vehicles in the vicinity were burned. And firefighters found themselves dealing with other challenges as well.
You can see the power lines that are overhead. We had live power lines that were falling down, arcing, and we had to make sure we got the water over those, and we tried to get those out as quickly as possible.
Once they did get it under control, investigators were talking to witnesses, trying to figure out what caused the fire. And back out here live, you're watching as the cleanup begins. We did approach people with ties to the business, but they didn't want to talk to us tonight. One person was taken to the hospital, but they are expected to be okay. Reporting live in Hillsborough County, Lori Davison, Spectrum, Bay News 9.
Just an inferno of a scene. Lori, thank you. The owners of that furniture store also own the U-Haul business next door. Again, investigators are still trying to figure out how that blaze started.